I'm back. CryptoSlo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? I did not leave you. I was simply on holiday out of town, taking a break from the crypto grind to replenish, refresh, so that when I get back, which I'm back now, I can get some good content out for you. Lots of things happening. Kind of playing catch up, hard to pack all into one. But, let's start with Bitcoin. So, right off the bat, Bitcoin had a weekly close, the highest it's been in over a year on the weekly candle. So that's definitely strong for Bitcoin. I know I've reiterated this in some of my other videos, but I definitely have a very, very big focus on Bitcoin right now. I've been taking 100% of my divs from all my dApps and just been nipping away at Bitcoin. And the thing is, a lot of times people are like, 200 Tron, that's not much Bitcoin. But the reality is if you start stacking up those small bits of Bitcoin, before you know it, it adds up, and you'll start making progress towards the holy grail of owning one Bitcoin. And from my standpoint, one Bitcoin is an amazing goal for someone to have. Get that one Bitcoin, lock it away so that you have no temptation of spending it, and just sit on it, because as a global currency, we're seeing more and more that Bitcoin is king. It will most likely always be king, at least at the moment. So yeah, so before you go spending those divs foolishly, think about shipping them off and just nipping away a little Bitcoin at a time. I think like on Binance, you only have to have like 150 Tron, and you can convert that into Bitcoin, build that up a little ways, up to about $100, and then move it to your wallet, your Nano, whatever, and then just sit on it. So yeah, so that's Bitcoin. And on the news of global currencies, I guess the news this morning, China is moving forward with cryptocurrency. It's going to be more focused on credit and debt, I think. So I don't think it's necessarily replacing the primary, but it's more of a secondary currency related to debt and credit payments. So that's definitely interesting news. We'll see. I'm not sure if it's a stable coin or if it's going to have a fluctuating value. Now, as far as the rest of the portfolio, the altcoins, man, I tell you, it's like all the altcoins are stable coins because they're just sitting there stagnant, like locked in time. So, I know I'd mentioned I did a video on RSR. I did pick up a little RSR. That's a very speculative buy, and it's mainly because of the team that they have assembled. I know that seems like a crazy way to, research a coin, but yeah, RSR, definitely worth checking out. Just get a little bag. It's really not expensive at all. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get because of the exchanges that it's on, but I jumped through some hoops. Like the exchanges they were on had limit orders with spreads, and then you know how that works. People when you're fighting the bots, and it's stupid. I always like to have the option of a market order. I don't like to buy market orders, but sometimes if you're just trying to pick a little bag up, you don't really care. You just want to cut through the hassle. Moving on to dApp news. Bankroll Network's still cruising along fantastically. I'm primarily in credits still. Like I said, those are the divs I'm using to try to get a little Bitcoin. Banker staking has started. At the moment, I am just level 1 for the moment, because like I said, my focus was on spending my divs on Bitcoin. So I'll probably level up to level 2 here shortly after I kind of, like I said, get to where I want to be with the Bitcoin. And so yeah, it's going pretty well. So if you haven't already swapped your banker token, when you go to Bankroll Network, your banker balance, that's funny, your banker balance will say 0. You simply hit the swap button, and then once you're swapped, you do a refresh, you'll get the new coin. And then if you want to stake, keep in mind that you're gonna need at least level 1 power up. So that's 1,000 TRX, which that's like nothing. That's $20. Power up your TRX to level 1, and then you have to freeze it, and then you want to make sure you toggle the swap button when you freeze your coins. But in order to enable staking, just make sure you hit that staking button. There's like a little slider. You'll see it when you're on there. If your screen's not refreshed, hit Control F5. I'll tell you what, that was before vacation. I actually sold all my win, and I'm totally glad I did, because I'll tell you what, the divs are so diluted, and this is exactly, they diluted the crap out of those divs. I mean, you got like nothing. I had 10,000 TRX worth of win, and I was getting like 10 or 20 Tron. Like, it'd take a bazillion years to ever ROI or compound into it. It's just not worth it unless you're whale status. If you're whale status, then you can probably get decent divs. But I mean, man, they diluted it so bad. The primary anti-holders, I mean, here's the thing, and I will give them credit for this. That from the standpoint of, the price, anti-holders will get back their original TRX investment, which is great. That's fantastic. So, I had about 10,000 TRX before, before everything happened, and now I have about 10,000 TRX. So, hold on a second. Let's see this whack job. Oh, what it's doing. I still have, and I sold close to 11,000 TRX. Now, the price was a little down when I looked at it, but so if you had, let's say you had 10,000 bucks in ante, you'll get your money back. But here is the key. Now, to get the divs that you were getting when you had that $10,000 worth, you'll need $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth to get the divs that you got when you had $10,000 worth. So, from that standpoint, I mean, you ultimately didn't do too bad. You'll get your TRX back, right? Which is fine. But with the dilution, you have to make a much, much, much bigger investment to see divs. So, from that standpoint, in my opinion, unless the divs skyrocket, the divs would have to 5x to get the divs that was before. Now, mining dice, I saw a statistic the other day. It said if you have 10,000 dice, you're in the top 50%, which, that's not bad. That's not bad. So, the divs on dice have still been decent. And even if the dice pot stays at at least 1 million, the divs on Dice are going to be just like Ante. So, from my opinion, Dice is worth mining on Moon, Ring, and Dice because it's so isolated to those games. Now, the only word of caution I have with that is that Dice is not even a coin yet. It is simply a lock on a contract. So they have not issued a coin, which, you know, but I was in Energy Telegram and they assigned it a value of about 4 TRX, and that's based on mining cost. But that's probably inflated because nothing typically holds its mining cost. I would say it's probably worth 20 to 30% less than the mining cost. So I would probably put the value of Dice at around 3 TRX right now, just for, you know, if you want to put it into perspective or understand, you know, where you're at. And remember, again, based on the mining difficulty, and they scaled, the new Dice is just like the old Ante. It's just a bigger number, and it's easier to mine. So definitely an opportunity getting in early for mining, from my standpoint, I think. So, but anyways, now Topia diamonds, holy cannoli. So what Topia did was they are giving away what's called shares of the rake. Shares of the rakers is basically the fee to play the games. So every time someone hits a button, there's a tiny little fee associated with that roll of the dice or whatever game you're playing. So, you know, that is called the rake. So it's guaranteed whether or not the casino is up or down. So, with that being said, what they did was they issued 20,000 shares at different prices, and these were called diamond vouchers. And they basically guaranteed a percent of the platform rake. So, regardless if the dividends are positive or negative, meaning like with the normal Topia coin, if the casino's losing money, the divs are negative. It's making money, the positive. The diamond vouchers are based on basically play. Now, there's 20,000. There was different tiers. They raised 20 million TRX. So if you divide that out, the cost average of a diamond voucher is 1,000 TRX. Now, in the OTC rooms, people got crazy numbers. You know, they're wanting like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 per diamond. But a word of caution. I'm not saying that diamond vouchers aren't good. They're fantastic if you got in on the level 1 price of 625. Remember, even though it's a rake, there still has to be people playing the games to get divs. So just remember that. It's a guarantee, but there still has to be people rolling. And there were times on Topia where there was literally no bets going through. So just like with anything else, it could dry up. And this is the only spot where Topia hasn't been proven. Is I love Topia and I support the network. I know some of the guys there. It's a great team. Is Topia has synonymously, well, they've got a mining competition going on right now. Topia has always synonymously had the miners, but not the gamblers. So there's a difference there. Tron, Bet, Win, whatever you want to call it, Wink, has gamblers as well as miners. So in order for an online DApp casino to make it nowadays, you really do need gamblers, not just miners. So basically they compounded their strategy. They had the diamond vouchers, and then they had this mining competition where they're giving away 2 million TRX total. So people are going crazy and mining, and then people that bought the diamond vouchers are getting like a 1 to 40, 1 to 50 payout, which that's fantastic. I wish I would have got a couple. I was gonna pick up a couple, and I just didn't get around to it. I literally went into town to like Home Depot or something. When I came back, they were sold out. So, yeah. So like I know Trey bought like 5% of all the vouchers. He's got almost 1,000 I saw in his latest video. So yeah, he has a huge chunk, but that's like 500,000 TRX or something crazy. Like, yeah. So he's a whale. He's got money to throw around. So yeah. But anyways, the point is the diamond vouchers were a cool idea. But you know, I think the concept is going to be copied, because what is to say, I mean, Topia has 4 different coins, right? They've got Topia, voucher, diamonds, everything, but Topia price went up to like 10. That's crazy. Like I said, I want them to succeed, but I want them to succeed, but just be careful, man. Don't FOMO in on Topia coins that were selling for 1 TRX a week or 2 ago, and now they're 10. You're stupid if you buy those coins. I'm just telling you, you're stupid. You missed the wave. Because look at how long the dry spell was for those coins to get back to where it is. It took a long time. So just keep in mind, a lot of these people were in early, and they don't have anything to lose because they already ROI'd. So yeah. So just be careful. I'm gonna have to close out because my camera equipment is failing. So this is CryptoSlo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking. More to come.